Ladies and gentlemen, the Loki and Jabroni Show welcome you to the biggest, baddest battle of the century. In this corner, from New York, by way of Little Rock, Arkansas, she is Hollywood Hillary Clinton. And her opponent, from the Trump Tower Casino and Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and barbershops around the country that specialize in comb-overs, we bring you Dangerous Donald Trump. And now, for your special referees, Eddie Focus, Loki, and Jabroni.
Welcome everybody once again to the Loki and Jabroni Show right here in Valhalla Entertainment Studios. Sitting to my left, of course, is
Jabroni. How are you?
I'm doing great. And right in front of me is the executive producer, Mr. Eddie Focus. How you doing?
I gotta say before he says a word, I just gotta stop. I like how Ed is more involved. He chiming in more. We've taken the plexiglass away. He's not sequestered. We're not beating him with a rubber hose. We're actually treating him like a human being now.
Dude, we took the straight jacket. We took the straight jacket off, number one. I mean,
that might have been a mistake.
That was our mistake in the first place.
I'm just here to make it better.
And
bigger.
So far you have, so kudos to you.
I agree. I love it.
Shout out to whoever bought that cell phone case.
Yes.
We love you.
Amazon, our affiliate link, finally paid off someone, and the anonymous Gothamite, if I can quote Bane, took the time and the energy to use our Amazon link to order something, and we got $1.
It's fantastic.
I feel rich.
It's a nice new cell phone case there, Loki.
Did you order a cell phone case there, jackass?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for the buck. We're recycling our money now. This is fan-fucking-tastic.
So,
why didn't you just put the $1 on the table? Like, here, guys, I'm going to order a cell phone case.
Because I want people to use the affiliate link.
Well, Focus, when you get a chance, please, once again, share with the folks the affiliate link on the Facebook page. We've done it in the videos. We've done it everywhere.
Well, I don't have to do that because we should be having a website soon.
We should. And it will be happening very soon.
And we also have, of course, our little startup, which I think we had that's most shares ever, was our Patreon little hustle bustle yesterday.
That was, you know what? That was
quite a few shares, actually. That was nice.
Yeah, to see Gary Wolf sharing that was great. All you guys listening, I can't name you all because I don't have your names in front of us, but thank you so much for sharing that. I know, Lady J and the Immortal Beloved did, but thank you to you guys too. But anybody else, you really don't have a horse in the race.
Right.
So to share us means you care, means you're listening, means you believe in the product. Thank you very much.
I should point out, just to the audience, you can donate just $1 a month if that's all you can afford.
There's nothing wrong with that.
$1 a month.
Is the difference between...
It does. It all adds up.
Yeah, it really does.
Gets us that camera that we're looking for. Go more live.
If 10 of you do that, that's $10. If 20, that's 20.
Exactly.
Wow, your math is fantastic.
Dude, he is. He's a mathematical genius.
It's at public school, man.
You're a math magician, if I may say
and
so.
I did it without Common Core.
Ooh, nice.
So what we usually like to start the show off with is our usual typical what's on your mind. So what you got, my friend?
Clown attacks. Fucking clown attacks. We grew up in an era where you go to a birthday party, there's a clown. Hey, fun fucking time. You get up on Saturday morning.
You still have people afraid of clowns.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And I know
there's a name for that. I'm not going to go to the Google machine yet. I want to at least get a half hour into the show.
Right.
We woke up on Saturday mornings, and who's on TV? Bozo. When we go to McDonald's, who's there? Ronald.
Yo.
Clowns are not meant to be scary.
Homie the Clown, Krusty the Clown.
Oh,
I mean,
Bozo
clowns,
the Clown.
McDonald's, freaking Ronald the Clown. I mean, the clowns have been around. And first of all, it sucks for the people that do make a living off of being a clown because they ain't getting no jobs. They ain't getting no work. Right?
No, if they're going to do a birthday party, they're doing it Magic Mike style now.
Exactly. 2, it's almost Halloween. I mean,
yeah. Oh, great point.
You know, what are you going to have? You're going to have less people sitting on there because of that? I mean,
some conspiracy theories in the news if you guys want to hear it.
I would love to. Please bring it up.
2, the clown attacks are viral marketing of the new upcoming It film.
I've heard that.
I heard it was Rob Zombie.
I was going to say Rob Zombie has got a new film coming up
31.
featuring clowns.
Yeah, and Rob Zombie is one of those type of people who has hired just normal Joes right from his website. Contact me here. I'll send you instructions.
What was the other film that he did where that kind of thing happened? Damn it! If I can,
House of a Thousand Corpses.
No, the other one, Devil's Rejects.
Yeah. Yes, the same thing. Well, he ends up going out there, and that's how he gets his namesake out there. The problem with it is some people are going too far.
So, somebody got shot, if I'm not mistaken. A clown got shot.
Schools are getting locked down. People are getting shot. People are
clowns are getting their asses kicked too, man. People are actually, because you got a couple of them out there that are chasing people with knives. I've seen a video where this guy was literally like, he's sitting there walking across, and it was creepy as shit. I'm not going to lie. And some of these people, like, do you ever watch a horror movie? Like, these things, all right, look, it's a horror movie, people. I get it, but there's still fucking certain rules that maybe you should learn something from watching these. When you pull a car over.
Yeah, don't have sex when there's a fucking deranged killer in the woods.
When you pull a car over and there's a bridge, and on the other side of that bridge is a clown walking in the dark.
Run.
You leave that alone. You just keep driving.
For your
You don't even
life.
get out of the car. Well, this guy gets out of the car and gets his little camera out and goes, "Hey, buddy." Well, the clown does that little creepy fucking turning his head thing, and then he comes chasing after the kids with a knife. The kid barely gets inside the car. The thing, a clown's sitting there trying to slash him with the knife through the car, and he takes off and almost hits the damn clown.
Look, what's next? For me, it's about this whole clown.
That's not somebody who got hired by somebody. That's somebody who wants to put bodily hurt on somebody.
What's next? Tom and Jerry? Are we going to have SpongeBob killers?
Who turned 76 today, by the way.
Thank you for a great childhood, by the way.
One of the most politically incorrect shows
But it taught us not to be freaking wusses. Jesus, these guys were blowing each other up and hitting each other and whatever. It wasn't quite as bad as
And we didn't ever have to see at the end, do not try this at home.
Yeah, there was never a disclaimer at the end of a Tom and Jerry
Because I can't tell you the
cartoon.
number of times I decided to paint something on the side of the wall and just run into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you paint the...
Guilty.
If really, you tried that?
I think it worked. I think it might have worked on Brian Benoit. Wasn't he chasing us around? No, but
when does it stop? What's next? Batman killers? Superman killers? SpongeBob? What's the new latest craze? Pokemon.
Look,
Pokemon fucking killers. What's next?
Well, people were going out at midnight.
That's
by
their own
themselves
ignorance.
Well, there's been a boogeyman
mugged.
every generation. Like for us, it would have been like Bloody Mary. Remember that?
I remember
the Bloody
that.
Mary thing. And then recently, a few years ago, what was it? Slender Man?
Yeah.
The Slender Man.
See, I feel
people?
bad for anybody that lives in that house now because
right?
everybody in the neighborhood came to my house and tried that stupid Bloody Mary theory. So there's like 30 Bloody Marys.
Well, I wasn't
going to
do it in my house.
I know, that's what everybody else said. Yeah. Like, well, by the way, we did Bloody Mary like 16 times in the bathroom. Nothing happened.
Beetlejuice. Wait, don't do that.
She might fucking show up like after we're gone and moved out. Right. Sorry.
Shit's getting real now. Don't you say that a third time.
So,
that's all I got.
I am going to go a little sports related. It's actually a little sad. As everybody knows, the Vikings are 5-0. They're the only undefeated team. And a gentleman.
Say that how you really want to say it.
No, this is a sad moment. The gentleman lives in Wisconsin. Now, this is the closest I can associate this is say Mark, or even say even Lady J just decides that she wants to throw a Dolphins one of these right out in front of our yard, right? This being Patriot country.
Yeah.
Well, the gentleman put a big, giant, inflatable Viking football character in the front of his yard. A 21-year-old Green Bay Packer fan didn't like it, got out of his car, and started cutting it with a box cutter.
So suddenly, what's the word I'm looking for here? Destruction of property. Help me with that.
So
vandalism. Thank you. Vandalism
the guy
is okay if it's football?
Right. So the guy decides,
Fucking asshole.
I'm going to go out and confront this guy. He's fucking up my, inflatable. This is not right.
I almost like where this is going.
The guy attacks him. The guy, he has over 200 stitches in his face. He got
What?
him, he stabbed him.
Oh, that was the picture you shared with the guy with the stitches all over his grill.
7 times. This guy gets out. Now, here's the crazy part of this whole thing. That's not crazy enough, right? This guy says, I always carry my gun with me. The gun was right there. I didn't take it out there that day. And he goes, and I'm glad I didn't because I would have killed him.
Okay, can I stop you? Lee Bozeman, friend of the show, won the fantastic Crystal Head vodka. He still hasn't sent his address. I've texted him 1,000 times. If not, I'm just going to pee in it and send it to him. Kiddingly, is a Saints fan. We've known each other almost 30 years. It's not fucking war. You're a Red Sox fan. I'm a Yankee fan. It's not fucking war. If you put out a Red Sox gimmick in your front yard, do you think I'm going to come by and slash it?
You should.
No, I shouldn't.
Kidding.
Individual liberty. You like your team, I like mine. I don't like you because of the laundry you wear. I like you because of the person that's inside that laundry. Whoever this prick is that decided to get out of his car, first of all, and deface some property that doesn't belong to him.
He went onto this guy's property.
You stabbed this guy, and I saw that picture. I didn't know the story behind it.
7 times.
This dude is fucked up. Fuck you for doing that. That guy should have shot you cold. And you know what? I'd have danced on your grave and pissed in your mom's mouth. I really don't give a shit. That is bullshit. Football is not war.
Bullshit.
Get over it. Go ahead, Ed.
I'm glad he didn't shoot him only because
And that's what he said.
that would give the government an excuse to put every football fan on a no-gun list.
Packer lives matter.
Right.
Actually, they don't. Fuck the Packers.
But again, I'm not a big football guy, but I do like the Patriots, and I'm just
Most football guys that aren't football guys are Patriot fans.
Here's the thing. I know enough that,
Tom Brady's
you said the
Tom Brady
Vikings
can do
are
that.
undefeated,
Tom Brady
right?
can do that.
He can do that. Here's the thing. The Vikings are undefeated. I'm good enough a person to let you have your moment.
Exactly.
I'm enjoying it, too.
Exactly.
I'm not sitting here being like, oh, yeah, well, I heard one of them molested little kids. Probably did. But
it's the NFL. Anything's possible.
It is possible, but not that we know of yet.
That might be just one of the bigger bullshit stories I've ever heard.
I was, first of all, shocked, that somebody would assault somebody with a box cutter. You're that angry. First of all, you're 21, dude. You're a pup. I'm sorry, dude.
well,
You ain't
those
shit yet.
inflatables, those inflatables are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
We sell those where I work. They're fucking expensive.
Yeah.
The Darth Vader Christmas inflatable, which I really want.
Mark's
is
got one. Go
fucking
steal it off his
It's
lawn.
like $300-something.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know what? Not only did that guy deserve to get cut the fuck up, he deserved to get mailed back to his family.
No, absolutely.
Not
One envelope at a time.
envelopes.
Well, he was in Wisconsin,
no.
so he wasn't going to go too far. I mean, he probably could have.
Okay,
Send 'em
see,
postage
all right,
due.
no, that brings. I didn't know that was in Wisconsin. A Viking fan in Wisconsin.
No, he lives in
And now I
Wisconsin,
see why you reference Lady J, because Lady J is a Dolphin fan,
Exactly.
right in the heart of Patriot country. Now, if in the front of the Valhalla studios she wanted to put a big inflatable dolphin up with the helmet and the number 13 and the whole rigmarole, you know what? I support her right to do that. Much like if I wanted to put a big inflatable falcon in the middle of New Orleans, Louisiana, I have the right to do that. I paid for that. You didn't do shit. You come and stab my shit. You know what? Sawed-off shotgun in your ass crack.
Well, that's what any other person would have taken that. But I thought it
I
was
applaud this guy for
that's
not picking up the gun.
Well, first of all, like he said, I would have had that guy's death on my hands. Like, not only do I have scars, because it's been proven. This is like if even Ed, say if Ed has a knife and I have a gun, Ed's going to get me before I get a round off. It's scientifically unplausible from this distance.
Not necessarily true.
No, it is. I'm
going to give this one Ed.
If I have the gun ready, yes, and I will show you a YouTube video.
I believe
even the most hardened veteran could not get that gun out and aimed and a perfect shot in the time that an assailant got there with a knife.
I don't know. I'm as athletically inclined as Stephen Hawking, so I don't know.
I still say,
and like
Too
I said,
soon?
It's a YouTube video, and they're trying to say this is the reason why cops do draw faster than they should, because they are told even at this distance you're in critical zone. It's anywhere between 10. But
you're a guy. Wait a minute, and I understand the correlation between, like you just made, between the homeowner and the police. I get it. It's thin, but I get it. A guy walked onto his property, started vandalizing something. God knows what, again, your mind could be racing. What else is this guy going to do? Is he going to march into my house and stab us all because we're Vikings fans?
Absolutely.
At which point, he
he's
has every
property
right under the law to put 2 shells in between this guy's eyes and drop him.
Not for vandalizing.
If you made an advancement after you said stop vandalizing my shit,
you're on my property. Absolutely. If you have the gun drawn and you're like, dude, you need to get off my property right now, absolutely. But
if he made an advancement between,
if you just walk out in the house and you're like pop,
no,
that's what you get for fucking up my fucking Viking balloon, all right?
I'm not advocating that he just goes out and starts firing off rounds. You have
Texas does.
Well, Texas is a special kind of...
Texas still has their own money, and they're still waiting to fucking use that shit. Believe me.
You have the right. Once you give the warning, and then you give a second warning. There is no third warning. If you're advancing on my property, and I say, you need to stop.
Advancement, absolutely.
You need to get off. I'm telling you now for the second time, you need to get off. Click, click, boom. It's over. It's over.
It's like POD.
Pretty much. I like how you knew that.
I'm glad we're all in agreement with this. First, I just think it's absolutely
that was the
disgusting.
most ridiculous shit.
It really is.
I wish I'd have read the story. I just saw the picture and I was like, wow, this is the worst thing.
Yeah, like I said, the guy lived in Wisconsin, or he still lives in there. He's got 4 kids that were there that day.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tragic.
This is worse than the story from was it San Francisco, where the San Francisco fans beat up the Oakland Raider fan and left him near dead.
That's what I'm saying.
And he recovered, God willing, a year and
there's
change
been a
later.
lot of those. There's been, Bills over here and the Giants fan that got jumped by the Eagles fans.
Look, I'm the first to tell you, I'll walk into Fenway Park in a Yankee jersey. I have walked into enemy territory wearing the other guy's colors, but you know what? Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe I'm blessed. Maybe someone's looking out for me. I always seem to meet the coolest people who they look past the laundry. Mm-hmm. They say, oh, so you're a Yankee fan. Okay, so you're not 100% great, but we'll still hang with you and drink beer. And when the game's over, win or lose, we go across the street, and I'll reference Yankee Stadium. We go to stands, have a couple beers, and everybody's laughing and smiling, and you end up being friends on Facebook, and you build these great friendships. That's life. It's not war. No matter what you think, no matter how passionate you are, I don't care if you're Viking fan, Falcon fan, Patriot fan, Dallas fan, Red Sox fan, it's not fucking war.
There's going to be other games.
There's going to be other
exactly.
There's going to be other seasons.
That's just how angry people are right now, though.
I went to Talladega.
This is how at the boiling point people are right now.
I went to Talladega wearing Toyota racing gear.
And that was a big thing back then, where NASCAR fan was not happy with Toyota. Now they're thrilled.
But I worked for Toyota. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to represent.
I have gone to concerts. I have gone to football games. I have gone to bar mitzvahs where somewhere in the middle, some jackass, and has about 30 other jackasses with him, goes, Yankees suck. And everybody follows him.
I'll say this. I think out of every sport and every event that you just mentioned, football has a bigger bigger opportunity of that happening.
Of the violence?
It's absolutely.
You're absolutely right.
Absolutely. I don't think I've ever, very rarely have I seen something erupt in, say,
there are very
like
few
a
things,
concert.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Never seen anything.
Look,
a few times, yeah, here and there.
The concert I went to was a New York band playing in Boston, Anthrax. And in the middle of the set, some jackass starts chanting, Yankees suck. And 1,000 people join in, and Scotty Ian goes, excuse me, do you guys understand where we're from?
Yeah.
You want us to stop now? Yeah. Why don't you shut the fuck up? Now, there are a few things that I'm afraid of in this life. I'm afraid of rats. I'm afraid of drowning. And I'm afraid to wear Falcon gear into Oakland because those crazy motherfuckers would probably stab me in the eye while I'm watching the game in front of my wife and children.
Oakland needs a home, though, so
I
think they're
Raider fan in general.
I think they're more inclined to give you a hug at this point.
What kills me about this story is that it's just you could be the example for your fan base, but you choose to be Johnny Jackass. I have no words. I wish the guy would have shot him,
dude. It's like the when they were doing the Black Lives Matter movement down there, and what was it? It was in Charlotte, and at first we didn't know it was a veteran.
Right.
Remember that person that was attacked, and they pulled his pants off and they
stripped him naked
and kicked him and shit like that. This guy is sitting there videotaping this, and this is the same point you're making.
We talked about this.
You can either be a better example for your cause, or quote like you just said for your team. Or you can choose to do what you just did. Record somebody getting embarrassed, getting kicked on, getting defaced. And then, like I said, and then you turn around and you find out that the guy's a goddamn veteran. Look, you just proved everything wrong. You just stereotyped everything by yourself. We didn't have to do nothing. You did it. You served up the dish. You made it all pretty for us and you gave it to us. We didn't do shit with it.
All we got to do now is talk about it
the video.
And show you how much of a fucking moron you are.
If you turn around and you are that person watching this video now, and you're like, okay, what's going on here? Well, we're pulling his pants and stuff. Okay, well, why are you pulling his pants down? Because it was funny and stuff. Okay, pause. What's going on there? Yeah, a couple guys are kicked. You know what I'm saying? Now you should start, if he's human, now you should start hearing this thing really break down. Well, yeah, that's a couple guys kicking.
I like what you just said. Human. Let's forget Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, like Ed says. When I say all lives matter, he's like, we're all equally worthless.
We're human. We're fucking
human lives.
We're fucking human.
Just let us be.
Period. And if you have
bullshit.
If you have any ounce of human decency, these images and these things that we're talking about should bother you. If they don't, then you're in another category.
Well, it's like I said, I think last week or the week before, like it's an undone everything people like me have tried to get across. And I'd like to think I've made a pretty good case that things need to change. Mm-hmm. But I have no argument when dumb motherfuckers do shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, I can't defend you then.
Beer.
Beer. Ooh. Jabroni's phone went off. He now owes you a beer.
But
you find me someplace public, I buy you a beer.
No lives matter. You are valued by your actions. Mm-hmm. Period.
Well, if you're the guy doing the ignorant action, your life doesn't matter. If you're guys like us or guys like that we like to embrace in our lives, you know what? I'd like to say, Ed, your life matters, and Mike, your life matters, and my life matters. The immortal Lady J, the kids, whatever, our lives matter. That's what I want to say.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And you know what? I don't care if you really all you do all day is eat tacos and play video games.
Are you hurting anybody?
Right. Exactly.
Your life matters. On that note, whoa, you had something to say. Wait.
Do you remember what Tom Hanks said to Matt Damon in Saving Private Ryan when he's like dying?
All your friends are dead?
No.
No, that was his brothers.
Okay.
No, when Tom Hanks is dying.
Okay.
Tom Hanks' character is dying.
I tried to erase that film from my mind.
He says something but Private Ryan.
Okay.
He just says 2 words. He says, earn this.
Oh, of course.
So he's telling him, your life doesn't matter.
Right.
earn this.
I got it. So speaking of earning it, we're going to take a break. You're going to listen to a fantastic commercial. We'll be right back.
Real quick, though.
Oh, hey, come ahead.
Just real quick. For you 49ers
Get your
fans,
hand off my knee.
I got great news for you. Colin Kaepernick will be playing for you guys this weekend.
Great. And if I see that game, my middle finger will be directly in the air.
Well, I got for the opposing team playing him. I figure if you want, on third down, just play the national anthem. He'll take a knee for you.
Oh, that'd be great. Let's get paid by the sponsors. We'll be right back.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Loki and Jabroni Show. Hey, if you love the Loki and Jabroni Show, stop at www.facebook.com/The Loki and Jabroni Show. Get involved in the conversation. Let us know what you think about today's topics and leave your suggestions. Loki and Jabroni Show is the #1 podcast in New England and the only podcast with an official endorsement from the demon god Cthulhu. Isn't that right, Mr. Cthulhu?
All right, everyone. Really excited about this. I had no idea this would ever happen in my possible life, but here to discuss the current political climate and the debates, former President Ronald Reagan.
Thank you.
And former President Bill Clinton.
I did not have sexual relations with Eddie Focus.
No, nobody cares.
Nobody asked you that.
Nobody cares.
Mr. Presidents, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. We should start by talking about the candidates. President Reagan, how do you feel about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump?
Well, I gotta say, Hillary.
Mr. Reagan, I believe he wants an answer.
Hillary she belongs in the kitchen. And, Trump, doesn't he own like a casino?
Yes, sir.
He's running for president?
He's running for president, sir. And I believe some people would find it offensive that you would say Hillary should be in the kitchen.
Well, she gotta make me a sandwich.
The kitchen is a place, if I may say so.
Am I right here, Billy?
Mr. Reagan, you were a great president. Back in my day, women belonged in the kitchen, and you paid them a nickel. And if I may speak about a nickel, the first hooker I ever picked up in Little Rock, Arkansas, she was a nickel hooker. And if I may say so, Eddie, I have yet to be paid my hooker for being here on the Loki and Jabroni Show.
Well, maybe you'll get a nickel back.
Maybe I will.
Former President Clinton, you do realize your wife is running for president.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's obvious by anyone who's ever looked at Chelsea.
Why didn't you let her out of the kitchen? What is wrong with you?
Sexual relations with that woman once.
It's your fault. You let her out of the kitchen.
It was a Whitesnake concert, and we were drunk.
Mr. President,
yes,
please,
sir.
please. The election. What concerns you most?
It's all his fault.
Sir, what?
This is not a Democrat versus Republican debate. This is talking about Donald Trump and that woman that I did not have sexual relations with.
Sir, she's your wife. You can have sex with your wife.
I may have had sexual relations with this woman.
All right, President Reagan.
He's not even paying attention.
What concerns you most about the upcoming election?
That we're going to get some dumbass to put that red button that I always wanted to push.
If you'd have been any sort of man,
I wanted to push that. I wanted to push that red button.
When I was getting a Hummer under the desk, my hand was on the button. But you're right, I never did push it myself.
That's not what we've heard, Mr. President. Anyway.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's burn. It burned you.
President Clinton.
Yes, sir, I'm right here.
President Clinton, the economy. What concerns you most about a possible Donald Trump presidency and the economy?
What bothers me most about a Donald Trump-led economy
is he can't play the saxophone like you.
He can. And thank you for bringing that up, President Reagan. And may I say that your jelly bean choices are some of my favorites. The root beer jelly belly is one of my favorites.
President
You
Clinton.
found my
Yes,
jelly
sir.
beans?
President Clinton.
Yes, sir.
You dodge questions better than your wife.
I did not have sexual relations with Donald Trump.
But I must redirect to former President Reagan. What concerns you most as a dead man about a possible Donald Trump presidency and the economy?
Well, he's going to take the cemetery where I'm at and dig it up and build a whole new Trump Plaza.
He's never said that.
He could.
Not once.
Why?
He's going to build a wall around the tombstone of
No,
Ronald
you
Reagan.
want to keep them Mexicans over there anyways.
Please, former president, grab him by the pussy. Let President Reagan
I
speak.
never grabbed that woman by her crotchal area.
Of course not. You were grabbing the top of her head.
That is correct, because under the desk, that is the best position to be in. Let me tell you something about my grandfather. When my grandfather was an older man and I was a younger man, he would have me go outside and chop wood. And in the process of chopping wood, he would pay me a nickel, which I would then take down to Little Rock and buy me a hooker, which began this whole economy. Hookers and blow. And when I say to you that Donald Trump is going to waste your tax dollar on hookers and blow, you can believe me, because I almost blew your money on hookers and blow. But then again, I boosted an economy while getting a blowjob under the desk. President Reagan, you may speak now, because I'm alive and I'm giving you the right.
Well, I brought cocaine in.
Yes, you did, and I thank you for it, because it got me more blowjobs under the desk. And let me just say, for the record,
Mike, drop, bitch.
That's a perfect lead into my next question.
the only reason you dropped the mic is because your hands don't have any muscle behind it. You're a skeleton.
I would love to hit that red button right now.
Your hair looks,
that button should be aimed right at you.
Your hair looks perfect, may I say.
President Reagan, you cannot aim a nuclear missile at the former president.
Oh, come on. I know we have the technology to do that now, son.
What would you say to people who say that the two of you are responsible for the excessive prison population in the United States?
Well, I'd say he did it first.
Which
Sir.
would be wrong, sir, because you were president 16 years before I was.
You were a government official way before that. I was acting.
I did not have
President Clinton?
sexual relations with your wife.
President Clinton.
Yes, sir.
Our fact checkers are telling me that President Reagan was president 12 years before you were.
That might be true, but I am old and senile. Balloons are my favorite thing. Did you see me on television when those balloons dropped? It was fantastic.
I did see it, and I am afraid to leave the house.
You might be old, but at least you're not dead like your sex life.
That is a great point, and I did not have sexual relations with Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Of course not. Your balls are in your fucking woman's hands.
You
Right
keep
now,
saying
my
that.
balls are in my hands because I'm afraid of another congressional hearing.
President Reagan and President Clinton,
Yes, sir.
do you think that people should be migrating to Canada?
If you value your friendships and your lives, absolutely.
I disagree with President Reagan
And
because
if you can't get there fast enough, take a fucking boat and go
you're
over to fucking Asia.
interrupting
Europe.
me like Donald Trump at all these debates that I'm told I've been at.
President Clinton,
Yes, sir.
can you have more respect for the dead, sir? Please.
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
The dead people should not be allowed to talk because they did not have sexual relations.
Word is, if not for the dead people, you never would have been elected.
I don't know if that's true or not, but what I do know is the only two good things that come out of Canada are hockey and Bryan Adams. And I stand behind that.
Hey, Bryan Adams sang one of my songs.
Yes, he did,
I like
sir.
Bryan
And I applaud you for liking Bryan Adams, even though you couldn't pick him out of a
Everything
lineup.
I did for the American people.
You are so lying. Iran-Contra. That's all I've got to say. Microphone drop, as they say in Arkansas.
Arkansas.
It's that state you didn't win.
It's that state where they fuck sheep.
No, that's West Virginia. That's the state you did win.
I can't believe I'm talking to somebody from Arkansas.
It happens. Every now and again, you have to meet your constituents and grab them in the pussy. Wait, Did I just say that?
I do believe you did, sir.
Well, I think
I
he's a
did
Trump
not
fan.
grab the vagina of that woman.
I think he supports Trump.
I do support Trump because the woman that I had
there's your
sexual
answer right there.
relations with
President
is
Clinton, your
not
wife
fit.
is running for president of the United States. Your wife.
I've lived with her for 46
Mike drop,
years.
bitch.
46 years. She's never made me one sandwich. She's never grabbed me one beer.
You let her out of the kitchen.
She has never done one thing that Monica hasn't done for me. Bill Clinton is here to tell you, you should put your support and your sexual relations behind Mr. Donald Trump.
Well, I didn't see that one coming.
So, how do you two feel about third party?
I like tacos.
There's a third party? I went to a party last week. There was one. And then my daughter, Chelsea, who resembles me in
you should
zero
bring a
ways.
saxophone to that third party.
I did,
You could
and
play
I
it.
cleared the room. It
and
was
then I
great.
can bring some blow.
That would be a fantastic party. But I played Whitesnake on my saxophone, and I cleared the room. What I'm saying to you is I went to 2 parties. And if I had gone to a third, I'd have been too drunk to drive. What I'm saying to you is there is only room for 2 parties in your weekend. So what I'm saying to you is 2 parties. That's it. No more.
I think you misunderstand, Mr. President. I'm talking third party candidates, not Republican or
Right.
Democrat.
I would like to answer your
I like
question,
jelly
please.
beans.
And I know that root beer jelly bean is fantastic.
Our fact checkers say that root beer jelly beans are disgusting.
Your fact
Comment?
checker,
That's
your
bullshit.
fact checker obviously works
That's about the
for
only
the
thing I
Chinese
do agree
government.
with this man with.
That's how we stay friends. 2 parties. That's it. If you go to a third party, you're going to be too wasted to
No,
drive,
he's saying third,
and you
third-
might get a
no,
blowjob under
no,
the desk.
No, he's saying third party candies.
Oh, third party candies.
Yeah.
I like Clark bars. I like whatchamacallits. And I like M&Ms.
I like Butterfingers too.
Butterfingers are bad for the economy.
No, Mr. President, I think you don't understand. You're both obviously suffering from dementia. I'm talking about the other 2 candidates running for president.
I went and saw Dementia not long
You're running
ago
for
with
president?
Hillary.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
No, you both served 2 terms, and Mr. Reagan, you are dead. You can't run again.
You look pretty good for a dead
Zombies
man.
can't run for president?
The
You
Walking Dead,
already
sir.
served.
Well, zombie lives matter.
The Walking Dead,
Zombies
sir.
don't exist, sir. I'm sorry.
What the hell am I?
I
I want to share their story with
I'm
you guys.
referring to Jill Stein and Gary Johnson,
Mr.
the
Regular,
other 2
Mr.
president
Regular
candidates.
Person, if you could just shush your mouth for 1 minute, just shush.
Stein and Johnson.
You're coming off as stupid right now. What I want to say is, back in 1984, Hillary and I had been married for, Christ, I don't know, maybe 13 years. I lost count after 3 because I got bored.
That's when I brought in the really good white powder.
That is when you did bring in the good powder. I give you that. And you did not have sexual relations with Nancy Reagan because Dick was shriveled
I
and you were
believe
old.
he was
Well,
married to Jane Weinman at the time, sir.
Not
pretty
in
sure I was.
1984.
No,
Do
pretty-
your
pretty
fact
sure I
check.
wasn't.
Why don't you get your boys?
I lose track.
Do your
You had
fact
so many
checking.
wives.
I've had one wife
is
and
that a
I've
shot
not
at me?
had sexual relations with her. Now, I took her to see Twisted Sister at the Little Rock Coliseum, and she disappeared for about 3 hours. Now, I can tell you this. She did not have sexual relations with Dee Snider, the singer of Twisted Sister. However, she did have sexual relations with J.J. French, the guitarist for Twisted Sister, which eventually got me elected governor of the
Can I
great
hit the
state
red
of
button?
Arkansas.
Can I hit the red button, please?
No, sir.
That's the only reason why they got me out of the grave. They said I could hit the red button.
President Reagan, it is not a red button. It is a
The Russians are going mad. Let me hit the red button.
It is a nuclear football, sir. And there are codes you have to put in. Way too complicated for you.
Well,
as is most sexual relations for you, sir.
President
Everything's
Clinton,
too complicated.
nobody is talking about sexual relations.
Oh, he's always talking about sexual
I am
relations.
actually asking questions about the issues, and you are completely
I have many issues.
I got some tissues for your issues.
Thank you for your tissues, because I could take them into the next room and have sexual relations with those tissues.
Mr. President, you make me wish
I got nothing.
that Richard Nixon was still alive today.
Richard Nixon was a great American who only did 18 minutes of crime.
Me too.
My wife
He was a
did
great
more
guy.
than that. Vote for Donald Trump if you are caring about the future of this world, because he will
President
have
Clinton.
sexual relations.
President Clinton, your wife, Hillary Rodham Clinton, is running for president.
And so are we.
Are you sure that's my wife?
We're the third and fourth party.
Sir, you're wearing a T-shirt that says, I'm with her.
That's only so I don't get lost. If people know,
Well,
if
that's
I'm
a great
walking
idea.
around the state fair and I don't know where I am, I just say I'm with her, they bring me back.
Well, that's a great idea.
You should have wore one during your presidency, sir, because when
Well,
I
I
wear
kept
a
my
shirt
wife in the
that
kitchen.
says I'm with her and it says Hillary Clinton, they bring me back to my wife, who gives me nickels so I can go get ice cream.
Matter of fact, let me use my. Does anybody have a phone around here?
I might have a phone right here, sir. I
want to make sure my wife's in the kitchen.
It's not a rotary, sir. You sure you know how to use a digital phone?
If
A
I
what?
can
No, just
interject,
give me one
your
of those
wife is
little
also
flingy
dead.
There-
She
there
will
are no
not
rotary
answer the
phones, sir.
phone.
What?
There are no rotary phones, sir.
Why? What madness is this?
Everything's digital, sir.
Why? Didn't you know in 2000 everything's going to crash?
It's 2016, Mr. President.
What?
You're dead, sir.
And I'm near death. And I can tell you right now that with your phone, you can type up www.redtube.com and you can have pretend sexual relations with anyone you see fit. Cheerleaders, Latinas, fat ladies, it doesn't matter. I can have sexual relations with all those ladies, and let me tell you, I pay the $29.99 a month.
Mr. President, they are called plus-sized women.
In my day, we were not wussified, we were not quantified, we were not anyfied. We could call a fat person fat, we could call a wuss, we could call anything we wanted.
Well, we said pleasantly plump.
And that's the reason why 80s... Wait a minute, you said pleasantly plump?
Yeah, chunky monkey.
I like Chunky Monkey. That's my favorite Ben & Jerry's Black Lives Matter ice cream.
Who the hell is Ben and Jerry?
They're those two guys that had that TV show back in the day with the... No, wait, that was Hee Haw. They had a show. That's all I know, and I did not have sexual relations with Ben and Jerry.
We have some online questions.
What's online? That's where I go for my pornography. Go ahead.
Question for President Clinton.
He's touched his dick 40 times in this entire interview.
It's been
I haven't let go of my penis this whole time.
It's been a historical fact that most Democratic presidents engage in extramarital affairs. John F. Kennedy is notorious for having an affair
He's my hero.
with Marilyn Monroe. You are notorious for having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. The question is,
He got you on that one.
when did the standards of the Democratic Party get so low?
I
Right?
can tell you
That's
this.
what I want to know.
I can tell you this is after John F. Kennedy was assassinated, the standards dropped because JFK, in my opinion,
Well, I would say I brought those standards right back up, Hal.
and I'm going to explain to you, Mr. Reagan, why you're wrong. Stop interrupting me. The meter's
You've
on.
been talking this whole time.
The meter's on, man. The meter's on. After JFK was assassinated for having a pocket full
Look,
of
a
nickels.
nice ass.
Where? Oh, she's nice. Oh, wait, that's Caitlyn Jenner. Let me come back. For having a pocket full of nickels, trying to get some hookers in Dallas, JFK's assassinated. He's banging Marilyn Monroe. Who do I got? I got ugly-ass Paula Jones. I got pie-face Monica Lewinsky. And, of course, at home, I've got Hillary Rodham Clinton, who I did not have sexual relations with except that
President
one time.
Clinton, she's your wife. You have a child together.
Well, he's got you there.
That ugly girl is my daughter?
Oh, big time.
It's questionable, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Christ, between Whitewater and Ugly Daughter, my presidency was screwed. Mr. Reagan, your question.
Well, I do have one question for you.
Sir, I asked the questions.
Oh.
What question would you ask President Clinton?
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Let me tell you what I would do for a Klondike bar. The list is short. I would have sexual relations with Honey Boo Boo's mama because Klondike bars are the tastiest treat you can get for a handful of nickels.
I agree with you
Have I
there.
told you about my nickels yet?
You still haven't gotten a nickel back.
When I was a little boy, my granddaddy used to send me out back to collect wood, and I would bring it back to the house.
Did you chop that wood?
Yes, Mr. Focus, I did. And I would chop that wood, and at the end of the day, he would pay me a nickel, and I would go down and get me either a Klondike bar or a hooker. So what I'm saying to you is, hookers are what makes America wonderful. Hookers make the world go round. And I did not have sexual relations with Hillary Rodham Clinton.
They
except
also
that
make
one
sure
time.
diseases get spread factually, too.
Again, President
There's
Clinton.
no medical fact that says that's how disease gets spread.
President Clinton, according to our fact checkers, they have confirmed indeed Hillary Rodham Clinton is your wife, and she is running for president.
My wife is running for president?
Yes, sir.
We got a big fucking problem.
I told you shouldn't have let her out of the kitchen in the first place.
I could not stop her. That whole ERA in the late 60s let her think that she could go out and have a job.
Time's up, President Clinton. We're moving on. President Reagan, do you have any final words?
I would like to tell the American people, don't trust the damn Russians. Hit that damn red button now. Don't let them come at you. They are like little snakes in the grass. You want to take every opportunity now to take them out.
Thank you, President Reagan.
You're welcome.
And rest in peace, sir.
Thank you. Can I touch the red button now?
There is no red button, sir. It is a nuclear football, as I said before, and it requires codes which are way too complex for your small mind.
If I may
Why did you
interject,
change? It's his fault, isn't it?
If I
it's
may-
his fault we
if-
don't have red button anymore.
if I may interject-
you have sex with the red button. They took it away, didn't they?
Mr. Reagan, upon your exit from office, did I not send you the Nintendo Power issue from March of 1988?
You also sent me that glove that helped me masturbate too, and that didn't help.
Did that book not contain codes? Did the book contain codes?
What? Up, down, left, right, left,
Did
right.
you not try that on the nuclear football?
There is no nuclear football.
This man has clearly lost his damn mind.
According to our fact checkers, President Clinton, you are correct.
Finally, I got
President
one right.
Reagan did lose his mind, and he is dead.
Finally, I got one
It's
right.
missing. It's not there.
You're doing pretty good for a guy with no mind.
And according to this, also his wife, Nancy Reagan, is dead.
I learned that on the Wikipedia. I learned that on the Google. And I learned that on Fox News, which is a big
What are you
supporter of
talking
my wife, who I now know is running for president of these United States.
You can thank him for all that information.
So, is it a safe question
I've never
to
been a
say
part of an
from
interview
here on in, you
where
will
they
not
give you the
campaign for
answers.
Trump?
From here on out, I will say this. There are 4 people that are running for the presidency of the United States. There is Donald Trump. There is my wife, Hillary Rodham Clinton. There is Gary Johnson. And there is this lady called Stein, who I don't know a lot about, but someone just handed me a note that said, this lady Stein is running on the Purple Party.
Green Party.
Yes, sir. Green Party. My
It's probably
advice,
like Leonardo DiCaprio.
I like Leonardo DiCaprio, especially in that Titanic movie. Boy, let me
According to
tell
our
you,
fact checker,
he
sir,
had
you should
sexual
know
relations.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
He had
Got
sexual
one of these
relations with
smartphones.
Rose.
He's been talking so much, I got a fucking smartphone handed to me.
What was your question?
That's all the time we have for questions, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. And I'm going to go back to playing with my finger puppets and watching SpongeBob. And Mr. Reagan, it was a pleasure sitting next to you, even though you stink something pretty bad.
And fuck off.
Yes, sir. God bless America.
Well, that was the 2016 ex-president debate on the Loki and Jabroni show. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Tune in next week. Richard Nixon will have another debate with John F. Kennedy.
I can't wait to see him.
You probably won't, sir.
F that guy. Hey, everybody, it's Chris from the Loki and Jabroni show. Are you looking for your next great tattoo experience? I've got something for you. Our friends at Sublime Ink Tattoo and Piercing Parlor in Groton, Connecticut. The address is 577 Route 12. Phone number is 860-445-4200. Go down and see our friends Dave Kovalik, Dana Batts, Justin Furr, or David Kruger. They are ready to give you your next great tattoo experience. Mention you heard it on the Loki and Jabroni show, and maybe they'll help you out.
Okay. Secret Service has just cleared out the ex-presidents of the United States, President Reagan and President Clinton, and returning to the studio
my
are our co-hosts.
Ed.
Hair smells like funk.
I know,
What
dude.
is
We
up?
leave for a beer run, and all of a sudden, it smells like rotting flesh and redneck ass. What did you do while we made the beer run?
I told you I had some guests coming.
This wasn't cleared through us.
Well,
It's like the hillbilly finally caught the goat.
Oh my Lord!
That's what it
you
smells
were
like in
lying.
here.
It was former President Reagan, former President Clinton. How could you go wrong?
Oh,
It
those
smells like The Walking Dead versus Ron Jeremy.
Hey,
in
as
here.
long as those ratings go up, dude, I'll get
That's
some.
all I
I'll
care
get some
about.
fans.
That's all I care
I'll
about.
kick some fans going here.
So I should tell Ron
Sure.
not to show up?
Next time, maybe. I don't know. But in front of us, we have, courtesy of the Mortal Beloved, we have Stone Brewing Company's Ruin 10 Triple IPA. Let's get those glasses up. We're joined by Country Ryan in the studio. You can't hear him, nor should you, because
smells like an Alaskan's asshole after 6 months being on the dark side.
Wow.
Thought that was off-camera talk.
No, hey.
Clarify that that's the beer, not me.
Yeah, all right. No, hey, fair enough. And, hey, Jason, I'd like clarification on that, if you would. Oh, you're right. It does smell horrendous. Let me taste it. Hold on.
Oh God.
Okay, if you can get past the smell, that tastes fantastic. Oh,
It smells like a Bill Clinton hooker after Trump grabs him by the pussy.
I did not have sexual relations with that hook. Excuse me, I have to leave.
Yeah, I don't know how he even got back here.
Okay, the Secret Service has just dragged Bill Clinton out of the room, and now to the meat and potatoes. Guys, did you watch the presidential debate number 2?
I did.
Michael?
I fell asleep and my lovely watched the rest of it.
I don't blame you.
I watched the we'll call it the Cliff Notes version the next day.
Oh, the 5-minute greatest hits the next morning?
Yeah, when they were.
That's what I did with the first one.
I do got to say this though. Whoever put together the Time of My Life video,
That guy should win a fucking Oscar, a Grammy, a Tony.
Genius.
He should win a Slammy, whatever award you can give this guy.
If you
You're
guys-
right. That was fantastic.
if you guys not to cut it off real quick, but if you guys haven't seen this video, it is somebody took Time of My Life from Dirty Dancing and put it towards that debate when they're all. And I'll tell you what, it was perfect. It was perfect, man, and fast.
Yeah, that was like lickety split
It
the
really
next
was.
morning.
It really
This
was.
guy worked overtime, overnight to put this video together. Now, again, full disclosure, the first presidential debate didn't watch.
I did.
I know you did, and I kept up with you online, and I got the info from the Immortal Beloved from the other room. I was watching Falcons Saints. I got priorities. And
I'm not even a football fan, and I think you spent your time better.
I do, because it was it was a Falcons win. B, it was a hard-fought game. And C, nobody was shitting on each other. I watched the 5-minute greatest hits clip on CBS News the next morning. I like CBS News this morning. It's probably the one morning show that I can watch that they actually have Gary Johnson on once a week, which I think is fantastic. If you're going to have a presidential election, you might as well bring everybody out. And they have Jill Stein on now and again. But Gary Johnson is featured minimally once a week.
I think they try to make him look like an idiot all the time, though, and it's kind of like...
Okay, see, here's where I was going to save this for later in the show. I'm going to break it out now. The fact that Gary Johnson doesn't know Aleppo doesn't mean shit. Gary Johnson cares about America, okay? I care about America. I want to teach little Johnny to read. I want to fix our economy. I want to fix the crime rate. I don't give a fuck what's going on in Syria. And if I piss off the Syrian part of our listenership, none of you, that's fine. Fix the problems at home. That's what Gary Johnson wants to do. Continuing on. Go ahead.
You only feel that way because you hate America and you hate the military, didn't you know?
Oh, God. I hate America.
That's a true story.
I hate the military. Let's just,
He wipes his ass with the American flag.
I've seen him.
And then I eat cheeseburgers and drive around in a 1 mile an hour fucking Cadillac with
2 miles
baby
an hour.
seal
So everybody
hubcaps.
fucking sees him.
Yeah.
With the fucking Southern Cross right on the back of your fucking window.
I've got the stars and bars in the back. I've got "Don't Tread on Me" tattooed to my back. All that racist bullshit.
Whoa. The "Don't tread on me" thing is not racist.
That's what I'm told. It's what I'm told.
Sorry.
Anyway.
I got defensive.
I watched
This IPA is racist.
This IPA is racist. Fuck Indian Pale Ale. Because Indians.
You are in love
Speaking
with
of Indians, by the way.
We're losing listeners fast.
Yeah, let's segue into this. Columbus Day in many school districts is now called Indigenous Peoples Day. I agree with this.
Well, because let's be honest, Columbus was lost. Columbus thought he was in India and called them Indians because he thought he was in India. Like, seriously, no. We need to stop glorifying this fucking hog, and we need to turn it into, I agree,
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Let's not forget that the Vikings actually came here first.
The ones from Minnesota or the ones from the Norseland?
No, the skulls.
Tomato.
I just want to know. Well, hey.
But no, actually, that's
Capital One Vikings.
Do you know why?
All right.
Do you know why the Minnesota Vikings are named the Vikings?
I know why you explained it to me.
Because that's where all the Scandinavians live.
Exactly.
They actually all migrated.
They went to the Northland
exactly.
because that's what they were accustomed to.
So they're the Vikings because of their heritage.
Anywho.
So technically, yes.
Yes.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Yes. Anywho, I watched the 5-minute greatest hits clip of the first debate, and it's all...
And that's why I call the Cliff Notes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Shit on you, shit on me, shit on you, shit on me, shit on you. So what I do 2 days later, was it 2 or 3? I can't recall. I watched the vice presidential debate. And what I saw, and I explained this to you, Ed, and he's shaking... Look at the smile on his face. He's shaking his head.
It's stupid. Come on.
Hillary Clinton has Kane underneath, and Trump has Pence. Pence played the part of Hillary Clinton. Kane played the part of Donald Trump. What I'm expecting come November, like 3 days before the election, is a chair shot to the back where one turns on the other and it becomes this WWE cage match.
We don't. Why do we?
Which someone
first of all,
yes, they did.
It was awesome.
Yes, they did.
We have no choice whatsoever who they pick for their running mate. They pick their running mate.
The running mate has a choice to say no, by the way.
Right, exactly. But regardless, there's going to be a running mate in there. There's going to be a vice president.
Can I interrupt you real quick? This is going to be self-grandizing. I would just like to point out the Libertarian Party elects their vice president.
Good.
Well, see that?
Absolutely wonderful.
Well, then there's a reason why you would need...
I don't like Weld.
There's
I kind of like Bill Weld.
There's a reason why you would have a vice presidential fucking debate if you were voting for him.
But that debate...
If this is a choice, I don't give a fuck what either one of these two people have to say.
Based on the...
All I care about is the fact that these two are up there throwing poo at each other nonstop.
No, I get that. And the vice presidential debate was in the 2 hours and 15 minutes I watched, and I think that was the duration from beginning to end, was more civil, although they kind of switched roles. Pence was playing more a Hillary role, and Kane was playing more of a Donald role. It was more civil. They talked about the facts. They talked about the issues. It was wonderful viewing. Better than they did? Better than they did, Ed?
No.
Better than they did.
I'm going to argue with you on the vice presidential debate. It was still horseshit.
I'm
saying it. Horseshit.
No. Bang your hand against the desk. Do it right.
It's pointless.
Honestly, I don't remember a single issue discussed in the vice presidential debate.
Fair enough. Now,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I'll give you Pence. Pence kind of played the role of a calm politician playing the victim of an irrational little boy, basically being like, this is what I got from it. Like, my mom can beat up your dad. Oh, that's silly. My dad.
Dude, did anybody see the video I put up last week?
Yeah, it's
with the slap fight from Napoleon Dynamite.
I have not seen a single issue discussed in any of the debates to this point,
which is going to lead me to this last.
They're going up against each other, and the scary fucking part is it seems more and more and more that Trump is set up to do this to make Hillary look that much better. Every debate, he almost seems like he's losing his mind. He's up here one moment when he first came out. Let's be honest. As much as we might not have agreed with his policies, he was on fire. He had people looking his way.
He had me at one point when he first announced his candidacy. I said, here's a businessman. He knows what it's like to succeed. He knows what it's like to fail. This is a guy
and that's how he sold himself.
Possibly, and there's that giant P word that nobody listens to when I say these things. You guys are the exception. But the general public doesn't hear me say that could possibly take this country back to where it needs to be. Now, having said possibly, we've been a year and change into this debacle, this bullshittery that we've had to deal with.
And it's like every time he opens up his mouth, more and more of his sanity is leaking out.
It seems to me that every time he opens his mouth, the foot can't wait to get into it.
He wants to keep going.
See,
that's just it, because the more he talks, the worse he sounds.
And the more people listen, which bothers me to
that was,
love
that
and
was,
hell.
You know what? That was then. He is making Hillary look, but he's making Hillary look so good now.
He is.
Exactly.
He really is.
He's making Hillary look amazing. So even people are like, well, fuck this guy. Like, we're going to vote for Hillary.
To the people that only believe in two-party politics, you're absolutely right. For the people that, like yourself, like me, you're right. You're absolutely right. But for the folks like you, like me, like Ed, like Ryan sitting over here, we know that there are more people involved in this election. Now,
and decent people.
Exactly.
Even if I don't agree with Jill Stein, she's a decent person.
Right.
She really is. I won't follow her.
So even if you're not on board with the whole, and she's borderline communist, but she is what she is.
You got that out of her too, huh?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I want to make sure I wasn't the only one, because I got some Jill Stein supporters who do listen to this show who are going to chastise me for saying this, but I can give you an example right now.
I can give you a perfect example right now. Okay, so one of her policies, and this is on her website, I'm not making it up. Okay, you get a job, and if you can't get a job, you will have the right to sue the government for not giving you a job. That's one of her policies.
Just give a participation trophy.
So that's communism. That's not Bernie Sanders socialism. Right. That's communism. Bernie Sanders, and I don't agree with Bernie Sanders. He's a socialist, Democrat, whatever, and he freely admits it. He will not support Jill Stein.
There are certain things about Bernie Sanders that I agreed with, and again, people point to that socialism, but I think Bernie Sanders had a lot of things right. The thing I had with Bernie Sanders was he didn't know how to articulate correctly what he wanted to do.
Well, see, I think he articulated correctly. It was just I thought Bernie was right on identifying the problems. I just thought he was way wrong with the solutions.
He didn't articulate it correctly.
His solutions.
That's not articulating. He believes what he said.
He couldn't tell the people the final result. If I ask you, wait, I'm going to point to Mike.
We knew where that final result was going.
I'm really going to point to Mike on this one. There's a truck sitting in your driveway right now. It's mine. There's a transmission problem. If I ask you, what does it take to fix this? You could give me the basics, but what are you telling me about the final result? Do you see where I'm going with this?
It's going to drive.
Well, we'd like to think that. We would certainly like to think that, but unless you articulate to me how you're going to make the truck drive, it's irrelevant.
See, and if you're asking me, but if you're asking me this question as a mechanic, I'm not going to take you down that path. First of all, it's going to take me almost fucking 3 hours to explain what I'm going to do.
If you're a politician.
And then when I get to, and that's the same with politics. You're saying so much that you're getting the lights flashing and people they're like that. They're there for you. They're there for you. And then as soon as you say that one big word, you lose them.
I'm with you on that.
Like, whoa, what just happened here?
I'm with you on that, but I'm going to take a segment of the population. I know I'm overreaching on this one. 10%. 10% of the population wants to know how you're going to fix it, what your plan is. Thank you. I'm getting a thing right here.
No, I'm giving this to you to drink.
Okay, I'll take that.
I finished
I'll
mine.
take that. Yeah, Ed finished his. Whatever. 10% of the population actually cares about not only
And I'm
the
the one with
policy.
the Wonder Woman cup, and I finished it.
Hey,
Well,
Wonder
you
Woman's
deserve the
badass.
Wonder Woman cup.
Fucking badass.
10% of the population cares about the whole process. The rest of the population, that 90%, wants to know, what is your plan? Well, my plan is to fix education. Oh, we have a savior.
I'm going to correct you. I'm going
Go
to
ahead.
correct you. They don't want to know the plan. They want to know, what are you going to give me?
I'll give you that one, too. I'll definitely give you that one,
No,
too.
that's what everybody wants.
Now-
what,
now,
what,
like,
I don't
get
give
it.
a
my
fuck
point
what
of
they
view-
give me. What I get, I earn. And what you get, you earn.
Well-
And you're the same as me.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is my whole thing, like any politician, I want to know, are you going to leave me alone?
Individual liberty.
That's my thing. Are you going to leave me alone?
Right.
Or are you going to do something that's going to make it harder for me?
And in looking at the 4 big, and well, you got the 2 big, but then you got the 2 underneath, and I still consider them big. I still consider Jill Stein and Gary Johnson big.
Well, here's the thing. The Jill Stein and the Green Party only polling 3%, but that's actually 900% higher than they did in the last election.
Right.
The Libertarian Party is at like 9%. That's only like 400, 500% higher.
When you
Still.
when
So
you
the Green
look at
Party's
those,
actually done really
when
well.
you
when
look at those
consider it.
people,
Consider, yeah.
and you look at what needs to be done here in our country, what needs to be done here in our neighborhoods, in our states, in our, let's say just New England is like this 6-state conglomerate, whatever. What needs to be done here, Gary Johnson's that guy.
I disagree.
Why?
The president should have no direct effect on what happens in Connecticut.
He has a direct effect on what happens on the country as a whole.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
he
that's
should
what we
not-
have government,
he
like
should
city
not-
government.
I agree
for.
with you, Mike. Go ahead, Eddie.
The president, here's the thing. Constitutionally, the president has these functions. He does a State of the Union once a year. He does treaties with other countries that the Senate has to vote on. And he has veto authority.
Fair enough.
The president shouldn't be able to pass anything that affects states as sovereign.
So you don't
entities.
think that the policies and things that went on in the Carter administration affected the country as a whole, all individual 50 states?
I'm sure they had an effect. I'm not saying he
That's
doesn't.
what I'm talking
I'm not saying
about.
he has an effect, but he's not supposed to have a direct effect.
Again, that's what I'm talking about. It's the blanket effect. It's not individual. It's what are you going to do to make this country as a whole better? We have
think
a problem.
The president should make the government smaller.
We have a lot of problems. Little Johnny
Yeah.
can't read. Our veterans
State
are,
problem.
Our veterans are being taken care of in a ridiculously bad way.
That's a federal problem.
Okay, well, let's take Little Johnny out of the picture. Little Johnny's going to learn to read in
'cause
Arkansas versus
education-
Connecticut.
Education should be a
It's
state,
state.
problem.
That's all
Okay,
state.
fair.
Because you have more.
Because you think
control
about
over
it,
your
yeah.
state.
When we have like the tests that we usually take, you know, the CT test and all that. That's Connecticut state
that's
mastery
fair.
tests. They have New York state mastery tests, and
Sure.
that's how we know which state does better out of every other state. And
Well, I'll put you in this perspective.
Go ahead.
You have kids, so this directly affects
Yeah.
you.
Go
Did
ahead.
No Child Left Behind help your kid? That's a federal program.
If my
not
child,
mine at all.
no.
Okay,
No.
so that's what happens when the federal government gets involved in your child's education.
If my child gets left behind, it goes on myself. I'm not
Yeah, but
helping
the
her.
point is, she wouldn't. He, in my case, wouldn't. Like they could be complete failures, and they're not getting left behind because it's embarrassing to them.
Correct.
Because
But that's the wussification of America. We've done that a million times.
right, exactly.
But
Participate.
It's
But
not even
that's
that.
the
It's
point.
when a larger entity like the federal government tries to get involved in a localized issue like your child's education. You know what I'm saying?
It's the broadside.
My-
It's the
my
broadsword theory.
I get that. My issue with education is
It's perfect.
we're
perfect
one
example.
country. One nation.
We're a country of sovereign states.
I get it. Hear me out. We are one country. We care about our people. There's that big O word. We care about our people. So if the kids in Texas, I know you love to bring up Texas.
Hate Texas.
I know you do. That's why you love to bring them up. If the kids in Texas are scoring better than the kids in Indiana, how do we help the kids in Indiana? Let's worry about here. Let's worry about home. Let's worry about the homeless problem.
That's how they work. I mean, that's why we have different, like money, like wages. You go to Connecticut, minimum wage is what, $9.50, whatever it is?
$10.10 as of last year.
So you go down to, I know it's like Carolinas, and
California is 15.
There you go. And
Seattle's 13 and change.
And well, like I said, you go down
Washington,
south, it's cheaper.
sorry.
It's cheaper down there, or they make less down there. It's just
But they also
different
have different
areas.
tax laws down there.
And that's exactly it. So only so much information or so much money can go towards education, towards roads, towards this, towards that, and everything else. So
I get the point of sovereign states. I get the point where Massachusetts doesn't want to be called the state of Massachusetts. They want to be the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and all that bullshit. And I get it. But we have to fix what's wrong here before we worry about Aleppo, Syria. Before we worry about...
No,
that's absolutely...
Here's the thing, though. You're confusing issues.
Am I? Go ahead.
You're
I'm listening to you.
Foreign policy is the responsibility of the federal government.
It's also the responsibility of NATO and the United Nations, but...
You know what? I'm going to say this. Fuck the United Nations and fuck NATO.
I'm glad somebody else said it other than me.
It's a failed experiment.
Yeah, it's done.
Thank you.
It's
High
been
fives
over.
around the table.
Now,
those little blue fucking vehicles roll up and everybody's laughing.
Yep,
at
pretty
this
much.
fucking point.
Here's a great alliance, okay? Don't threaten me. Don't hurt me. Don't take my stuff, and there won't be a problem.
I said that to someone not long ago because we got into a political discussion, and somebody said, well, how would you fix it? I'm like, I'll tell you how I'd fix it. It'd be a dictatorship with liberty. Here's how. Wait
don't
for
exist.
it. Wait for it. You do, Ed, in your house what Ed wants to do. Mike, you do in your house what you want to do. Chris,
to a certain extent. I mean, I can't bring like a body in here and start dismembering it.
No. Work with me.
Why not?
I mean, I could.
Just kidding.
I could.
By killing someone.
Absolutely, but if somebody happens to wander into my house.
It's going to come to that. Wait for it. I do in my house what I want to do. But I'm telling you, that's how it is. Now,
That's property rights.
Exactly.
And self-ownership.
If, Eddie, you bring someone into your house and you, I don't know, kill them, dismember them, eat their parts, whatever, not to say that Eddie Focus is that kind of guy, I have the right to infringe upon your individual liberty. Because you have then infringed upon the individual liberty of somebody else.
Well, that here's the thing. Like, this is what... that's why I brought up property rights and self-ownership. Okay? So your body is property. It's your property.
Yes.
Okay? I can't, even on my own property, I can't hurt your property.
Exactly.
Okay? But at the same
If
time...
I walk onto your property,
you can't come
you
to
can't do the same.
You can't come to my property and start roughing everybody up.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so that's
You see where I'm going.
That's property and self-ownership.
Yes.
That's a core libertarian philosophy.
Exactly.
Property and self-ownership.
Exactly. You see where I'm going. Wait, Ryan, don't say a word. I'm passing this on to you. Country Ryan.
That right there is law 1 infringing on law number 2. I cannot infringe on your rights, but at the same time, if you infringe on my rights, I can infringe on your rights. Do you see what I mean? It is law 1 infringing on law 2.
No, if you do cross that border, absolutely. But you can't, what we're essentially saying is you can't obviously go onto somebody's, you yourself being your own property.
Right. Let me try to break
when you verbally or even physically assault someone else, you are technically assaulting, you are attacking them. You have made the first move of engagement. Therefore, you are the guilty party. They can retaliate by all standards of the imagination of whatever, or they can choose not to.
Right. I completely understand that. You know, same case, if somebody were to walk on my property, I would do whatever it takes for me to defend my property because it is my
Right. But what I'm
property.
saying is that person that walks onto your property, that's the first initial rules of engagement. He has now opened up a form of attack.
You're absolutely right.
He has come onto your property.
This is assuming you've informed the party, hey, this is my property.
right. At first, say they cross your border. Right.
You need to respect that.
Right. Exactly.
'Cause
Say
you would-
somebody
you-
comes walking
you
in.
wouldn't shoot your mailman just for walking.
And well,
on
we
your property.
talked. No, we talked about that earlier. Like I said, he wouldn't just walk out to this guy in Wisconsin and be like, "Blam, blam! Hey, get off my property! You're fucking up my balloon." You know what I'm saying? Even at that point when he fucked up his balloon, he didn't have a right to blast the guy fucking 2 times in the chest.
No.
However, he could say, "Get off my fucking land! This is my property. Get the fuck out of here! I am pointing this gun at you now because you have a weapon in your hand, and this is it." Now, if this guy continues to move forward at him in an aggressive posture and goes to attack him, then by all means,
He's
the
a threat to
gentleman,
your life, and you
absolutely,
And that's where I'm
Absolutely.
going. And that's where I'm going with this. Now, if I'm an invited guest into Eddie's house for dinner, hey Chris, you want to come over for dinner? Cooking up some ribs. Hey, I'd love to. I'll be there at 7. Now, I'm an invited guest onto Eddie's property, and he decides to kill me and chop me up and wear me as a suit of skin or whatever the case is. That's where I'm having a problem.
Well, you still have self-ownership of yourself.
Are you infringing on my individual liberty?
If
my
I kill you?
Yes.
fuck yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Ryan.
That is a very good point. Eddie, say you invited him for a certain time. He shows up at that certain time, and you decide to do whatever you wish
This is
upon him.
called murder.
Yes.
This is called premeditated murder. Like, where are you going with this? Is my point.
I
understand what you're saying.
I
You're
was
saying
trying to follow what Jabroni was saying. I know I had a thought process for it.
you're trying to.
That this guy is murdering somebody. He knows you, number one. He's calling you on the phone and saying, "Hey, look, come on over for dinner."
That's
right?
where I'm going with this. You have your rights in your house. You have your right, but if
We
you,
have laws. If you murder somebody, you're fucked, dude.
Right? No, I
you
get
can't
that.
just murder somebody.
But
Here's the thing.
Go ahead,
Let's
Ed.
take the law out of it. Let's take the law out of it. Let's just use principles of liberty for a second. Okay?
Right.
I'm listening.
You have a body, a life, whatever. Okay. Let's just say that is
Your
self-ownership.
property, as we said,
Right.
self-ownership, your property. Right.
You are your own property. I can invite you onto my physical property, like house,
Right.
whatever.
Your
You can
house,
come over.
your hut,
That doesn't,
your teepee, whatever
that
the fuck you
doesn't-
have.
That doesn't mean your self-ownership or your self-property is gone.
That's exactly
Right.
what I was getting at.
But here it does. But I can say you can come over. But if you have a gun, you can't bring it. If
You
have a
could
knife,
say
you
that.
can't
You
bring
can
it.
have disclosures.
You
Absolutely.
could say that.
And because I had a discussion, I think with Ange about guns. Like, well,
And you were
if,
right.
If I have a license to have a gun, I should be able to carry it. I'm like, you can, just not in my house.
Exactly. You have the right to refusal.
And you do. And if you
Or
don't,
you-
and
or
if you refuse to
you
not
don't-
have your
I
weapon,
don't have to let you in the house.
Exactly. You say right.
there's Same-
Regardless of whoever's property you go
ahead.
over, you still have that self-ownership of your own life. And I can't take that from you under any circumstance.
And that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Unless it is your intention to come over my house, invite or not, to take my own life.
That would, again,
In a
it's
threatening
individual
manner.
liberty.
Absolutely.
It's called the non-aggression principle.
I agree.
I
Look,
won't aggress against you if you don't aggress
Look,
against
let me
me.
get
Exactly.
back. Let me get, if I could bring this back to the point, you live your life, you live your life, I live my life, as long as I don't infringe upon your life, as long as I don't infringe upon Mike, your life, as long, Ryan, as I don't infringe upon your life, everybody's happy. But this is the way it's going to be stamped and approved. Fuck you. At the end of the day, let Eddie, Mike, Chris, Ryan, Mark, Ange, Janelle, whoever the fuck wants to live their life the way they want to, not be impeded upon by someone who goes, "Oh, you're not living my well, then screw you." You know what? No. Screw you. At the end of the day, we lay our heads down knowing we're good citizens. We lay our heads down knowing that we're doing the right thing for our families. Let's be number one. Families first. Families first. Ed, Amy, and Anna. Mike, Janelle, Evan, Caleb, and Alex. Chris, Angela, Emma, Maddie, Billy, Brett, whomever, Ryan, and whomever the fuck you have.
Unless you're a crazy Marine, in which case it's unit core God.
Exactly.
Yep.
But
I'm married?
Family first, community second. Your community, the people you live around. The state should be like way over here. Worry about
the state should be dead last.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
The state should be dead last. That's why
let's worry about what's happening in our look, let me ask you a question. And I'm going to ask Ryan, you already know the answer because, well, we've talked about this before. I'm going to ask Mike and Eddie, how well do you know your neighbors?
Pretty good.
You know your neighbors pretty good?
Yeah.
You're better than a lot of people out there
Alex,
right now.
Does yard work for this guy over here.
Ed?
I know that he yells at his girlfriend every night on his cell phone about stuff, mostly about, I think he conceived a child with her, some other things. He screamed that he wanted his air conditioner back.
I remember that video.
To turn his cell phone on. And on the other side of my house is just a house full of Asian people. They don't bother anybody, but they have no trespassing signs.
They make great chicken, though.
A fleet of old Toyota vehicles.
There goes 10 more feet to the wall.
That have been stripped down. Guys, I hate where I live.
Okay.
Thank you for rubbing salt in that fucking wound.
This is leading to something. Turn the clock back 30 years. All of us in our head. Ryan, I know you might not be 30 yet.
I love living in the projects.
Yep. How well 30 years ago did you know your neighbors?
Well, I'm sitting across from one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
We lived in the projects, so it was pretty easy.
All right. I knew my neighbors quite well 30 years ago. Everybody knew everybody else. It was, what's this, with Tracy Bird? I'm from the country and I like it that way. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody called you friend. Everybody knew who you were, who your parents were, who your siblings were. Everybody knew. We are in a state now in 2016 where isolation is the norm. That's a problem.
Well, I mean, it started obviously with cell phones. People just having their noses to the ground.
I don't disagree.
They had too much. There's too much technology. When things like this made it easier to communicate, people forgot how to communicate.
Mm-hmm. Which is why we do what we do every single week.
Exactly.
We communicate.
What about this president, though?
Oh,
yeah, we totally got off track here.
Right now, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'm going to say it on October 29th when I'm face-to-face with this man at my VIP meet and greet bullshit. I'm going to beg Henry Rollins, not only to be on the show, I'm going to beg Henry Rollins to be the next president of the United States.
Well, I will support you, sir. Thank you, Ryan. The only chance that we have is if everybody in these fine United States of America decides that we don't want to vote. That not a single one of us is going to put a ballot to fucking write, to pen, to pencil, whatever.
As long as one person votes, that electoral college will dump their votes.
The problem with that
bullshit.
is people are fucking sheep. They don't fucking care anymore.
Go ahead, Eddie. You got your hand up.
You want.
If nobody votes, the House of Representatives decides the president.
That's dictatorship, and we're fine.
No, that's constitutional.
Is it really?
That's in the Constitution.
Actually,
think here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm throwing this out there. If Gary Johnson can win 2 states, neither one of them can get the 270. Yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
I would be...
And the Republicans hate Trump.
Yeah, too bad Connecticut.
Oh,
would
did you
never
not
be
see
a
the
Johnson
front page of the
state.
New York Times this morning?
Oh, it's beautiful.
If you guys have not seen this is Wednesday when we're recording. You're going to hear this on Saturday. The front page of the New York Times, which I read, by the way, so anybody who wants to tell me I'm an idiot can go fuck themselves sideways with a rake handle that is splintered.
As far as music goes, you are an idiot.
No, as far as music goes, I'm a god. You're the idiot. I believe in musicians that play instruments. Anyway, we're going to go to the front page of the New York Times. Oh, God. Relevant how, Kanye? Because you married a big-butted chick? Let me get to the point.
If Viking
cockface.
Entertainment doesn't play them, they aren't relevant.
There you go.
Do you play Kiss?
On Fridays?
They're relevant. Anyway, the front page of the New York Times this morning had a headline that I'm paraphrasing that said Trump is basically pissed off the entire Republican Party. And there are Republican members in droves pulling their support from Trump.
McCain's already said he's not voting.
McCain said that a while ago.
Well, he said he's writing in a candidate. He said he won't.
There
vote
you
for
go.
Trump. Mitt Romney endorsed Johnson.
If your own party is running away from you in droves, you're a lost cause. You have basically, not that I thought that Trump would be a great president.
Which goes right back to my point that I was making earlier, man.
Exactly.
He's doing, it's like he's doing this on fucking purpose. It's like
did you ever see the meme that says, what if Trump was doing what he was doing to guarantee Hillary's spot in the White House?
Well, that's pretty much what he's doing right now.
Basically, yes.
I mean, you can literally watch it phrase by phrase throughout every single one of their debates of everything that they've went through. He had an intelligent front. He had everything. He had knowledge. He had facts. He was backing it up. He was very blatant about it. He was very loud about it, but he had points. He had people thinking. His points turned into nanas. His facts turned into, well, this is what you did. Well, this is what you did. He became more idiotic with every single statement and every single conference that he had.
I don't disagree with that. And when we come back out of this break, we're going to break down exactly the differences between the Hillary campaign and the Trump campaign and why you should vote for neither of them. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Loki and Jabroni Show. You are a fan, you are listening. If you want to know how to make the show even better and become a part of the Loki and Jabroni family, here is how. www.patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni. It is the easiest way to get in on the ground floor and help us reach the next level. You can donate a one-time gift, a monthly gift, or there are 2 special investor levels that will help you help us produce content for you in the future. We have gifts for each level of donation. That is www.patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni to make your donation and help us become the podcast of the future.
And welcome back, guys. How's everybody doing? Well, we hope we got your little brain churning there, and we hope you guys listen to these elections and, listen to everything that's going on around you, because that is what you have to take from this is knowledge. Knowledge is power. And speaking of power,
what do you got for power?
we have the power. The power of the button.
This week's Final Countdown is brought to all you motherfuckers who believe that the country should be run by someone who cares about you. And Sublime Mink and Viking Entertainment. Anywho.
And those guys.
What's with that half-ass ad read?
Kiss my ass. We do enough bumpers. This week's top 10 is in reverence, and I'm going to move my headphones, I'm going to take my hat off, to my man Loki over here. Let me put my headphones back on. Sometime this week, I know you guys are hearing this on Saturday. The Boston Red Sox got knocked out of the playoffs by those darned, dirty, nasty pieces of garbage Cleveland
You mean Francona?
Oh, Francona and the Junior Red Sox. Mm-hmm. Yes. Look.
I'm about to cut up an inflatable myself.
Look, I've read the book. I read Francona's book. I love that guy. I always said he was like Joe Torre Jr. He knows how to motivate a team.
Awesome guy.
But let's be honest, you guys did not get your just due in the playoffs.
Of course not. We wanted to go all the way. Why not? Who wouldn't want to go all the way?
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
I would love to, again, we got a wussification episode coming up in our future if we so decide, because if you don't want to be the best, sit on the side.
Oh, yeah.
The Red Sox wanted to be the best. It was Poppy's last season. And here comes, for me, as a Yankee fan. So all of you guys, sit back, savor the flavor, man, because this is a Yankee fan going through the top 10 Big Poppy moments of all time. Yeah. Here we go. Honorable mention goes to every time he faced Mariano Rivera. Was that not a war?
Oh, it always was, yeah.
Every time those two got up against each other, you weren't sure if Mo was going to strike him out or if Poppy was going to take him deep. You just didn't know. It was a beautiful thing. Number 10, Big Poppy arrives in Boston late in the 2002 season, and the legend begins.
Yes, sir.
He was, if I'm remembering correctly, he was a platoon player in 2002, and then in 2003, he really became like Big Poppy in gigantic capital letters. Number 9, May 14th, 2016. This year, the 11th inning walk-off double in the 11th, where he basically was like, this may be my last year, but I'm going to make you motherfuckers pay.
Oh, he played his heart out this year. He really did.
Absolutely. Number 8, let's keep in 2016. Opening day 2016. His 5th career opening day home run versus Cleveland, which puts him on a very small list of people who have multiple opening day home runs. Don Mattingly, Mickey Mantle, Carl Yastrzemski. It's a very small list. And he's got 5. It's amazing. I really, look, I'm gonna stop this list right now. I have so much respect for Dave Ortiz.
I agree. I said the same thing.
If you're on the
baseball is
opposite,
missing on a great player.
It really is
a great motivator.
When you're sitting on the opposite side, when you are a
I
guy
hope he comes back.
who has
not to baseball, but
when you have the interlocking NY tattooed to your forearm, Big Poppy is a guy that scares the ever-loving life out of you. It's ridiculous. Number 7, September 2003. His first walk-off home run with Boston. It was in the 10th inning against Baltimore to basically secure their ticket into the ALCS.
which of course he played a huge part in winning that with,
in 03.
Pedro.
We're going to go further because 2003 you guys lost against the Yankees. Aaron Boone. Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 6, September 12th, 2015, his 500th home run versus Tampa Bay. Again,
Red Sox destroyers. Well, that's what they were supposed to be.
they were built.
They were for about 6 years.
Exactly. They were built to be Red Sox killers. Whether or not they finished the job, I think once when they made the World Series, who'd they play? Philadelphia. And Philadelphia decimated them. Number 5, the entire 2007 World Series versus Colorado. The man had a .333 batting average,
insane.
a .412 on base percentage, a .533 slugging percentage.
I almost forget it was the Rockies. We owned them. Like that was.
You know what? To be honest, not a Red Sox fan. We already know this. You guys could have just went in there and played the local high school team. You were that hot.
They should have just. Here you go, guys.
You were that hot.
Should have saved us
in 2007.
Saved them.
Number 4 is Game 7, the 2004 ALCS. The curse is almost broken. What David Ortiz did in that game, the first 3 games, Yankees owned you. The next 3 games, the Red Sox owned everybody. Now we come to Game 7. David Ortiz put on a clinic to make that possible for your team, the Boston Red Sox, to move forward. He put that team on his shoulders to move forward and win the 2004 World Series.
Which we swept.
Yes, you did. Against?
2004?
2004.
That was Cards.
Yes, it was. Number 3 is the 2013 World Series. Won on the home turf for the first time in 80-plus years.
That was awesome.
Versus St. Louis. Here's his line in 6 games. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, an astounding .688 batting average. There is no one in World Series history, listen to me, Yankee fan, I'm one of you, in World Series history with a higher batting average in the World Series than David Ortiz that year.
Yeah, he was on fire.
Fucking fantastic. Number 2 was it 2013 ALCS versus the Tigers. I got 3 words for you. The Grand Slam.
That was beautiful. I was
walk these people through.
I was supposed to go to that one. I wasn't, but Brian was there for that one. Don't forget, it was actually a little damp that night too. So
yes.
people had to stick around and kind of like work through the weather. But man, I remember we were at the house and I had the boys sit up that night and you knew.
Moments like that are history.
You just knew. Like when he stepped up, he always had this look in his eye, like this ball's gone.
Exactly.
You just knew.
Which, let's go back to the honorable mention. Every time he stepped in there with Mariano Rivera, the most dominant closer in baseball history, there was a 50-50 chance.
Oh, yeah.
You either knew
that was better than most.
Exactly. Which, for most people, was an 80-20 chance. Either 80% Mo's going to strike you out, or 20% you're going to get a hit.
Yeah,
with Ortiz, it's 50-50. That moment.
There's a reason why he came out to fucking Metallica.
Exactly. And I'll say this as a Yankee fan before I get to number 1, is that when David Ortiz stepped up against Mariano Rivera, I'm one of those guys. I'm like, oh shit, here comes Poppy. This is not going to end well. This could be the end of our season right here. Mm-hmm. It's really, again, I looked at the stats earlier. I don't want to bring them up now. With Rivera, it was 50-50 against Ortiz.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Those two are always at it.
All right. So in honor, and we talked about Mark Teixeira. That's all well and good, but Mark Teixeira will never touch David Ortiz.
Not those numbers, absolutely. As far as a person,
just as an icon,
as far as a person, as far as a player, as far as his name. But that's just his type of player, though. You know what I'm saying? He's very Carl Ripken. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you Cal Ripken.
He's very.
I would almost give you, because he's not a Hall of Famer. Unfortunately, look, Yankee fan, give me shit for it. Don Mattingly will never be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I'd like to see Don in the Hall of Fame, but Mark Teixeira is Don Mattingly.
Yeah.
David Ortiz is a step above.
David Ortiz is Big Papi.
Again, right.
I mean, he's just like Mo. He's just like Jeter. Like there's those guys. There's the guys. He carved a name for himself, just like the others before him. Tex, unfortunately, he's a player of that caliber, but the name was never.
I agree with that.
Never there.
Now, this may draw some anger from a lot of people, but my number 1 top 10 Big Papi moment is April 20th, 2013. We are 5 days removed from the Boston bombings. And David Ortiz says out loud
this is our motherfucking city.
This is our fucking city. And he owned it. And he brought the people of Boston together. Whether you're a baseball fan, hockey fan, basketball fan, whether you live in Timbuktu, Lafayette, Indiana, Little Rock, Arkansas, wherever you are, you felt that passion.
Absolutely.
And to me, that was the number 1 Big Papi moment. And the fact that they played it over ESPN, over New England Sports Network, NESN, for those of you that listen to us in New England, Fox News, they played it without censorship. This is our fucking city.
Exactly.
That made all the difference in the world, and it healed a community. More than any T-shirt, because I have one. I went to a Bruins game and they give out Boston Strong T-shirts. More than any T-shirt, David Ortiz just pounding his fist like he did. You remember the speech?
Oh, yeah.
This is our fucking city. It healed a community.
No, I agree. Absolutely.
And for that, you know what? Let me take these off. I tip my hat, man. My hat's on the table. David Ortiz, you are a class act.
Hell yeah. I agree. 100%.
Drinks are in the air. You know what? It's going to be a different game as a Yankee fan to see Yankees versus Red
It's
Sox.
going to be a different for
David
Red Sox.
Ortiz.
Believe me, dude.
And I know for you, because you felt this 2 years ago, we spoke about it briefly with Jim Lehretz. It's a different game without Derek Jeter.
Oh, yeah, big time.
This is my moment to do this for the first time since Yaz retired in 1984. And when Jim Rice retired, you already knew he was going out. But Yaz was at the top of his game. It's a different game without that number one staring you in the face every night. So to you, as a Red Sox fan, and to all you guys out there that are Red Sox Nation, and if you're Yankee Universe, man, please join me. My hat's already on the table. These guys will tell you it is. I salute David Ortiz for what he has done for Boston baseball. I salute David Ortiz for what he's done for the game of baseball. And I salute David Ortiz for just being a stand-up human being. He's never been one to be embroiled in controversy. I've one time with the whole Mitchell report, but that's, the Mitchell report was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, it's much like what's going on in football right now.
Pretty much.
Same thing.
You never hear David Ortiz embroiled in controversy with steroids or this or that or the other thing. This was just a big beast of a guy who swung a bat.
Man, family man. That's why he's leaving this game. He wants to be with his family, man. And can you blame him? I wish him the best.
My question to you: if when you watched him walk off the field for the final time, did you not feel in your heart one more year?
Personally, yes, I'd love it, but I know where he's at. Like I know missing family. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell. You could tell he's done. You could just see it in his eyes. Like
I think
it's better to go out on top.
It really is.
Oh, absolutely.
And he did. His numbers are ridiculous.
Paul O'Neill
really
is
are.
a great example of that.
They are fucking ridiculous.
I think that's where Jordan went wrong trying to come back.
Agreed. And with Poppy, and I know Jeter wanted a ring in his last year. It's not going to happen because, look, I'm a Yankee fan. Yankee management's retarded. I'll say that. I don't care. But at the end of the day, this guy had Ortiz. David Ortiz had the ability to go 2 more years. I applaud his decision. And I think, as a Yankee fan, he did the right thing. He should be able to walk away on his terms. And as a Yankee fan, I know next year there's going to be less fear in my heart every time we go into that 9th inning and that third hitter gets up, which is Ortiz's spot. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have less fear in my heart because I know in my heart there is nobody that will evoke that fear that David Ortiz evoked in a Yankee fan's heart. God bless you, David Ortiz. You know what? As a Yankee fan, I love you. And I wish you the best in whatever you do from here on out.
Excellent job, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're going to be dropping this, like we said, on Saturday. So when you guys give this a listen, make sure you guys drop by that Patreon website. Make sure you check it out. If you guys haven't seen any of those YouTube videos, check those out. I hear Jason Todd is looking to talk to Thomas Wayne here about a partnership. So we'll see a little bit more about that coming up, too.
Such strange people.
Interesting.
We
interesting
do draw
fellows,
the strangest crowd, don't we,
Interesting
Ed?
fellows. Oh. But, guys, make sure you have a great, great weekend. Halloween's coming around the corner.
I got a quick shout out.
Crowns.
I got a quick shout out. I almost forgot. When this episode drops, Ezekiel Starr, a very nice gentleman I've known for a little bit of time, is getting married on Saturday to his longtime girlfriend of 7 years. Her name is Amber. By the time this drops, they will be man and wife. So to Zeke and to Amber, I wish you the best of luck.
Congratulations.